There's a Wrangler out there with 543,000 miles on the clock. That didn't happen because someone got lucky. It happened because they treated their Jeep like it mattered every single time. I'm about to give you the 10 real service habits that actually get you to crazy high mileage. Plus, I'll spill the quiet driving tricks Jeep owners use to keep their rigs alive. Want to know what really works? Let's go. Number 1. Change the oil. Every 5,000 miles or every 6 months, no excuses. Most cars get by with slow, lazy oil changes. Your Jeep cannot. The real rule is simple. Oil and filter every 5,000 miles or every 6 months, whichever comes first. Cross that line and everything else you do is just playing catch up. Oil is what keeps all those metal parts safe, and when oil gets tired, parts start to pay the price. People sometimes let the dash computer tell them when to change oil, or think that short trips are easier on the engine. Actually, it's the opposite. Short trips let water and gas mix into the oil, and they never burn off, so the engine starts building up sludge and gunk that nobody wants to find. Jeeps are almost always severe duty because the list of hard driving includes stop and go, short trips, towing, dust, and off-roading. Basically everything Jeeps do. Every time you change oil, change the filter too. Fresh oil in an old filter is like showering and then putting back on dirty socks. And always use the right kind of oil for your Jeep. Keep records, old receipts, notes, even a sticker under the hood. When you are fixing something years from now, that paper trail will help you keep calm and avoid arguments about what got done. Number 2. Service transmission fluid. Early and use drain and fill, not a flush. Transmission fluid is not just something slippery, it actually controls shifting and keeps things cool. If the fluid goes bad, things get hot, and a hot transmission is one step from trouble. There are two groups of Jeep people. One group never changes fluid at all, and the other gets scared and tries to flush everything out at once. Both groups make problems for themselves. The Jeep manual says never use chemical flushes. That warning is there because a harsh flush can knock loose old junk and block tiny passages, turning a works fine transmission into a why is it slipping nightmare. The smart plan is simple. Drain and fill the fluid a few times, not all at once. If you can change the filter, do it, because a clogged filter keeps oil from moving and makes things hot. If you tow, drive off-road, or crawl a lot, move your service up even sooner. Smooth shifting is the goal, and the best transmission is the one you never think about. But this is just the first step. There's another forever fluid that loves to surprise people. Number 3, replace coolant before overheating wrecks. Everything coolant is a mix of chemicals that keeps engines cool and stops rust. Jeep manuals sometimes say it can last up to 10 years or 240,000 kilometers, but that number makes people lazy. Most folks wait until the Jeep boils over or gets hot. At that point, damage is already happening, even if you can still drive home. If you want your Jeep to last for decades, treat coolant like a regular job. The chemicals in coolant wear out, and old coolant can start eating away at gaskets, heater cores, and radiators, which can lead to leaks, overheating, or blown head gaskets. Those are repairs you do not want to pay for. Do a real drain, flush, and refill earlier than the schedule says, always with the right coolant for your Jeep. Check the level every month. If you see it dropping, do not ignore it. Find the leak right away. Pretending it's fine is the fastest way to end up stranded. One bad overheat can cost your Jeep years of life. Keeping coolant right also keeps brakes happier, because heat is the enemy there too, just in a different way. Number 4, flush brake fluid. Every 24 months, even if the brakes feel fine. The Jeep Service Guide makes this one clear. Replace brake fluid every 2 years with DOT4 fluid. It does not matter how many miles you drive, time is what matters. Brake fluid gets ignored because it works in the background and you cannot feel it going bad until it's too late. Here's what happens inside. Brake fluid pulls in water from the air. That water lowers the boiling point, so on a hard stop, your brakes could get spongy or even fail. Water also rusts brake lines and inside parts, which means you could end up with stuck calipers or expensive repairs, even if the pedal still feels normal today. Every 2 years, flush the fluid and keep it fresh. While you're under there, take a minute to look at brake lines, hoses, and caliper slides, especially if your Jeep goes in mud, water, or salty roads. These places eat away at metal and rubber fast. All these small checks make sure you do not end up with big brake problems out of nowhere. If you are still watching, remember to hit that subscribe button so we can continue creating more Jeep content. Let's continue. Number 5, check steering parts at every oil change and service power steering fluid. If you have it, not every Jeep has the same steering setup, but every Jeep owner deals with steering wear. Bigger tires, lifts, or tough trails only make it worse. Old power steering fluid can carry metal shavings, wearing out the pump and seals before you know it. The real trick is catching trouble early. Every time you change oil, do a quick check. Are the track bar bolts tight, any loose tie rod ends, ball joints, or noisy wheel bearings? Bad alignment or cupped tires also give away problems. This habit stops you from missing a problem until your steering starts shaking or making weird noises. Never wait until the steering wheel starts bouncing in your hands. By then you might need a whole bunch of new parts, not just one. A Jeep that drives straight and feels boring is actually the best kind of high-mileage Jeep. Good steering also saves your tires, and healthy tires keep your whole suspension safer. This is why filters and tires matter more than most people think. Number 6. Replace filters. On time, faster. If you drive in dust, Jeep owners see more dust and dirt than most people, and filters are your engine's first defense. The Jeep manual says to change the air filter and cabin filter, and to do it sooner if you drive in dust. For many Jeeps, dust is not rare, it's just a normal day. A clogged air filter makes your engine work harder and lets in dirt that grinds down parts. The fix is cheap. Check your engine air filter often, change it early if you go off-road, and replace the cabin filter every year. A clean cabin filter helps your heater and AC run better and keeps your Jeep smelling fresh too. Do not forget about the PCV system. If it gets blocked, your Jeep could burn more oil or build up sludge, which makes repairs way more expensive later. The little stuff you check now saves you from big surprises down the road. Tires also start to wear out quietly, and small problems here can hurt your whole suspension if you do not pay attention. Number 7. Rotate tires. Every 5,000 to 6,000 miles and check alignment. Yearly Jeep's own schedule says rotate tires every 10,000 kilometers. That's about 6,200 miles. And check the alignment. Most people let tires wear unevenly, then wonder why their Jeep starts to shake, pull, or wear out parts fast. If you want 500,000 miles, you rotate your tires every oil change, keep air pressure right, and check alignment once a year or anytime you hit a pothole hard. One hard hit can knock your wheels out of line, and a bad alignment slowly eats tires and suspension without making a sound. Running big tires, you need to watch even closer. Bigger tires make all the steering, brakes, and suspension work harder. That's fine if you keep up with checks, but if you ignore it, you pay the price. Misfires and rough running love to hide when you do not check things like this, and what feels like just a wobble can start a chain of new problems. Number 8. Replace spark plugs before they start missing. Spark plugs sound small, but the Jeep manual gives a specific mileage for changing them. Different engines and years need different plugs, so always check the book for your Jeep. If you let plugs wear out, the engine can start missing, which ruins gas mileage, can kill the catalytic converter, and could lead to even bigger bills. Wait too long and old plugs can break off, get stuck, or cook the boots on your ignition coils. That turns a simple job into a hard, expensive repair. Always use the right plugs, check for oil leaks around them, and do not guess about when to change them. If you see oil near the plugs, that means you need to fix a valve cover leak before it gets worse. Misfires and bad running are not just annoying. They are early warnings that something small is turning into something big, and the chain of damage keeps going until you step in and fix it. Heat is the same way. It waits for you to look away, then takes out a whole system at once. Number 9. Inspect belts, hoses, radiator fins, and fans. Before heat wins. A good Jeep can die fast if it gets too hot. Jeep's service plan includes changing accessory belts, but you need to look at belts, hoses, and the radiator anytime you work on the Jeep. Rubber dries out and cracks, clamps get loose, and a belt can snap without warning. Never wait for squeals, slipping, or steam. Inspect belts, hoses, and cooling fans. If you go through water, mud, or drive in high heat, check them even more often. If the radiator fins are clogged with bugs or dirt, clean them gently so air can move through. A fan that does not turn on when it should is a warning. If your Jeep only overheats at low speeds, start checking fans first. One burst hose or belt that slips off can lead to instant overheating, and a single heat event can cut years off your Jeep's life. When you keep heat away, you buy more time for every part. And when you're done here, it's time to look underneath. Number 10. Change axle and transfer case fluids sooner if you tow, off-road, or cross water. Jeep says to change axle and transfer case fluids, and for four-wheel drive models, this is not optional. These fluids are the only thing protecting gears and bearings when you tow, climb, or slog through mud and water. If you wait too long, old fluid lets metal grind metal, and the repairs can be huge. The best move is to do the first service early, because brand new parts drop a lot of metal into the oil at first. After that, go by the schedule, or sooner if you use your Jeep hard. Anytime you cross water, change those fluids, because water and gear oil is like poison for gears. Always loosen the fill plug before you drain, so you do not get stuck with an empty part you cannot refill. That tiny step can save you from a really bad day in the driveway. You can do everything right, but if you ignore small noises, leaks, or weird feelings, you still might miss your big goal. That is why the last thing you need is a real driving habit. 500,000 miles is built one small choice at a time, and your Jeep is writing its next chapter. Drop your story below and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single Jeep maintenance tip.